Hello guys, once again Thomas Diango here with you. Today I have something lovely, something romantic. The question is, what can you do for that person you love? How far can you go? Can you kill for him or her? Can you build for him or her? Can you buy for him or her? Can you steal for him or her? Can you refuse something huge just for him or her? As you ponder about that, I want to bring you 22 stories of people who did things that will shock you as they did shock me. Just how far people can go is amazing. Without further ado, why don't we sink in and see just what these guys decided to do for love. Number one, Ashley McIntyre and Danny Robinson. What did they do? Ashley McIntyre was one day listening to the radio back in 2014. The presenters were sharing a story about Danny Robinson. Danny Robinson was a young man with a kidney disease. Touched by this story, Ashley volunteered to be tested and turned out to be a match. She donated her kidney to him, somebody he just heard over the radio. She didn't know him at all, so she decided to donate one of her kidneys to this guy because she was touched. During the recovery, they grew close, fell in love, and got married the following year. They now live together and have children. Ashley gave more than just an organ. She gave Danny a new life. She gave Danny children. She gave Danny herself. Can you give your kidney to that person you love? If you can give a kidney to that person you love, Ashley gave it to somebody she only knew over the radio and came to love later. Love. 2. Bonnie and Clyde. You've heard about that story probably. These are two American thieves or robbers, bank robbers. They fell in love, came together, and I don't know who started stealing or whether they were both thieves, but they started robbing banks together. And they escaped and they shot people and they did lots of stuff. They became so infamous back in the 1930s and late 20s. Why do we want to talk about them in this particular story program? Bonnie did something crazy. At one time, Clyde, his love, stole a car and was caught and taken to court. she faced a jail term. And Bonnie, out of love, he was called Bonnie Parker, said, hey, you're not going to jail. So what did he do? He went to court as a witness and changed the whole story. When he was called to the stands, he said, that lady over there did not steal the car. The person who stole the car is myself. I stole the car. Now, normally, in any court of law, if you attest and agree to have committed the crime, there's no further study or court procedure to be conducted. The sentencing takes over. The only thing they might want to ascertain is, are you saying or giving your claims under duress? Are you pressured by someone to say what you're saying? If they realize you are willfully giving your testimony and acceptance to that particular crime, kula maharagwe. So Bonnie took the blame from the person he loved. My question to you is, can you go to jail because your spouse has stolen something, has robbed, has killed, has raped, has done some criminal offense? Can you stand before the jury and say, it's not him, it's me, I'm the person you're looking for? Number 3, Danny Cahill. Danny Cahill was this big guy. He was fat, he was obese, 430 pounds, that is about 215 kilograms. 200 kilograms. 200 kilograms is about 4 bags of cement. Have you ever tried lifting a bag of cement and then try lifting 4 of them? Yes, he was more than that. He weighed more than that. 430 pounds or 215 kg. Now, because of his weight, his spouse wanted to do away with their relationship. Said, I did not sign for this. You are too big for me. Highways make. So Danny said, please, just give me some time. I'm going to shed weight. And what did Danny do? In a very short period of time, he shed 239 pounds. That is 120 kg. Or 120 kg. Now, have you ever tried losing weight? Take your mass measurement today and try losing just 5 kg. It is so tough. But because of love, because he did not want to lose the person he loved, he decided, even 120, I'm going to lose it just to secure this relationship. Okay, I don't know the regimen, the kind of exercises he did, but this is what happened. He was awarded the biggest loser winner in 2009 for losing the most weight within that short period of time. So, of course, he secured the relationship or marriage, and number 2, he got an award for losing such an amount of mass or body fat. Things people do for love. So guys, If you see your relationship is getting strained because maybe of how you look, just ask for some time and do something about it. If Danny did it, you can do it. Number 4, Jane Hawkins. Now, Jane Hawkins is a touching story. What did Jane Hawkins do? Jane Hawkins met Stephen Hawking at university. You have gone to the college or university to study, and then you meet someone and you become an item. Then she discovered, just as they were beginning their relationship, that Stephen had been diagnosed with ALS. ALS is some syndrome, mental problem. It affects the brain and the brain stem. The doctor said this guy has few years to live, maybe 3, 4 to live, and then the doctor said the situation was incurable. The stage he had reached, he was going vegetative. When you are going vegetative, it means your life is going like this. Problems. Now, Jane Hawkins said, okay. The relationship, remember, it's still young. They have just started, and he has realized this. So he said, no. I'm not leaving this guy. This guy is nice. This guy is innocent. Whatever is happening is an act of God. But I'm not leaving this guy. So what did he do? She dropped or deferred her studies. She said, I'm stopping my career, but my guy must continue learning. So she dropped out of college, but supported the guy to continue his studies, because she figured, because he has a few years to live, let him continue enjoying the privileges of studying. And during this time, I'm going to dedicate my time to cook for him, to wash his clothes, to make him as happy as I can for the short period of time he's going to live. So she became her nurse, his nurse, and she became his loving wife. During this period, she bore him 3 children, and she stood with him. Of course, in that process, he actually, like the doctor said, he lived for a few years and died. But the story about this lady, the sacrifice he made, touched the world. She shared her story in her memoir called Traveling to Infinity. This memoir was later transformed into a film called The Theory of Everything. Jane Hawkins. That is very touching. The question to you is, if you realize that he is going to die, and you are just getting started, you have not gone that far, can you walk the journey? Or can you say, I'm sorry about your situation, but I pray for you. Continue with your journey. Let me live my life. Very touching. Next story. Bate Nesmith Graham. Bate Nesmith Graham. Bate Nesmith Graham. What did Bate Nesmith Graham and the spouse Warren Nesmith do? Now, what happened here is Bate and Warren loved one, fell in love. But then, as fate would have it, they moved separate ways. Maybe job or circumstances of life. So let's say Bate, just an example, moved to say Mombasa or maybe out of Kenya, let's say South Africa, Durban or Pretoria. And Warren moved elsewhere, let's say to Morocco or to Somalia, anywhere around the world. So they are far off. Because of distance, normally what happens is each individual starts a new life because they are not yet married. They just fell in love and separated. So normally you would start a new life and she starts a new life. And then later on when you meet, you're like, oh, by the way, nowadays, where are you? Blah, blah, blah. But these guys, what happened is, they never married. Warren did not marry. Bate never married. They continued with their jobs separately and stayed for decades. They said, I can never love again. That is the person I loved. Without him, no. So, the love they had at 20s, now they are in their 60s. 40 years later, they meet and they are like, oh my. Anyway, tell me about your family. Which family? I'm just me. What about you? Me too. I'm just me. Really? Why? Why haven't you? You are always on my mind. Really? All those years? 40 years? So they reunited, rediscovered their spark, and got married in their 60s. Maybe the lady menopause already. The question to you is, how long can it take you to forget about him? How long can it take you to forget about her and move on? Especially if your love had just begun. You had not gone that far. You see, there is this situation where you are married, you have children, and you have gone separate ways. That one is rather easy to come back in one piece. But here is a case where you just fell in love, went away, 40 years later you meet and you're still the same old you. Very rare. Bate Nesmith Graham and Warren Nesmith. Story number 6. Gabo Lingyel. Gabo Lingyel. That is way back in 1971. 19-year-old Gabor Liniel swam across Adriatic Sea. Adriatic Sea is a shark-infested sea. Shark-infested means if you get into that water body, you risk swimming with the sharks. And sharks are not very friendly, especially when they are hungry. They will devour you. So he got into this shark-infested sea and swam. Remember, he's just 19. He's just taken his ID card the other year. This guy is from Yugoslavia, going to Italy. The swimming is going to take him 7 hours. 7 hours in water. Swimming over 13 kilometers. 13 kilometers. That's far. For those who can swim, how far can you manage? Can you go a kilometer non-stop? 2, 3. Can you imagine 13 kilometers? Now, I stay in Kariobangi South. Kariobangi South to Nairobi's CBD is around 7 kilometers on road. In sea, it's rather longer because it is straight if you are maybe going in a direction. And it's not 7 but 13. Terrible. And it is shark infested. So he swam, and as he swam, he was dodging not just sharks, but he was also dodging military patrols. Because in Yugoslavia, which was under the former USSR, there was what we call communism. And then he's going to Italy, which is a Western world country, capitalist. Now, these are two different economies. They don't agree. They are opposites. So, border patrols are here to ensure that no communist crosses over to the capitalist world. So he dodges these border patrols and dodges sharks. And why is he doing all this? He's dodging this because the person he loves is in Italy. He's going to Italy to get that person he loves. And when he gets there, they are going to get married and maybe fly to United States, where they'll now stay there. Sharks, border patrol, communism to capitalism. What a risk. Can you get into a water body if you're told there are crocodiles here, and the other side your ladies over there? Can you manage that? Can you have the guts to swim with sharks or crocodiles just to get to that destination? Story number 7. Toz Reynolds. What did Toz Reynolds do? Toz Reynolds is a lady. He once got a tattoo of a love note from her boyfriend inked on her arm. The boyfriend wrote him a note, love note, you see, oh dear, oh I can't sleep without you, oh this, oh that, those stories. You see, they are usually very colorful letters. Boys can be creative. So, because he fell in love with this letter, he decided keeping the letter is difficult. It can get wet and get torn, get worn out, get lost. But how about I transfer the message to, say, my arm or my thigh or my chest or anywhere? So that's what he did. He went to a tattoo artist and tattooed every single word in that note on her arm. After tattooing that information on her arm, a few moments later, you see these love things, the guy cheated on her. You have cheated on me. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Oh, and I did this for you. Oh my. It's a very sad story there. So what did she do? She took a scalpel. Take a knife for a scalpel, as an example, and chopped that piece of meat with the tattoo, and then stuck it maybe on a jar or on something for him to see that you made me do this, I'm leaving this here, you'll remember me. So sliced the whole letter and her skin, put it there, and then moved on. I'd rather have a scar, but not those words on somebody who has cheated on me. The question is, okay, that's a sad story. But the question is, can you tattoo yourself either his face or a love note or his name on your body? And if you can do that, question 2 is, can you remove it with a scalpel or a knife if he decides to do what Tori Reynolds got? Things people do for love. Number 8. Now this is a bit crazy. A millionaire. Now when you talk about a millionaire, money is now coming into play. A Chinese millionaire did something crazy. What did he do? He bought his love a star. Bought his love a star. Star? What star? Yeah. Did he buy something shaped like a star? No. He bought her. Yes, the ones you see at night. Now, I don't know whom he paid this money to buy a star, or how maybe he acquired the star and delivered it to the lady. But the story goes that he bought a star in the sky and named it after his girlfriend for her birthday. Buying a star. How much is a star, by the way? Because millionaire seems to be able to buy stars. Somebody tell me how much stars at night cost, so that hata sisi tununue stars. We also need to buy stars. Pastors normally say, nyota yako imeibwa. This guy can buy you a star if yours has been stolen. Okay. He didn't just do that. What else did he do? He rented several billboards across Beijing. Beijing is China's capital. Billboards. And what did he have written on the billboards? Happy birthday, blah, blah, blah. From yours, blah, blah, blah. Billboards. Just to wish somebody happy birthday. The question is, ladies, What has he done to wish you happy birthday? Did he manage a manila paper for a placard? Happy birthday? Because this guy is doing billboards and buying stars. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to story number 9. Now, story number 9 is both funny and sad. Richie Ho. Richie Ho is somebody from Singapore. What did Richie Ho do? Richie Ho had this girlfriend and loved her so much. Then one day the lady approached him and said, I'm done with this. Quits. Let us break up. And he was like, hey, no, how do we do that? It's over, and it's over, and it's over. That's it. Move on. And the lady walked away. Richie Ho was like, no way, this is not going to happen. So Richie Ho approached her later, maybe the following day. And what did he do? He feigned amnesia. Amnesia is forgetfulness. Have you ever done something and what did I do? No, I don't remember doing that. Yes, that. So he approached her and feigned amnesia, said he had been involved in an accident and he had lost his memory. He did not know anything. He did not even know her by name, but he liked her, what he saw. So he was like, okay, I like you, but I don't remember. What's your name, by the way? And he looked at him. She looked at him. You are playing. Stop these jokes. But he was dead serious. You can imagine you love someone, how serious you can be. So he was dead serious. I've been involved in an accident. Understand me? I want you. I don't remember us breaking up. And if at all we did, I don't remember it. But just give me this chance because, yeah. So she said, because you are involved in an accident, I sympathize. And because of that, come back. So, just by faking amnesia, he got her back. But then, as he was celebrating, having fun again with her, enjoying the company, the love, etc., a few days later, he opened up about the feigning and said, I did not actually get involved in an accident. I just wanted us to be together. I could not afford us going separate ways. And she was like, wait a minute. So you were not involved in an accident? And that's why I forgave and actually accepted this relationship to go on? It's over. And it was over. And there was no more feigning she could accept. So, for the pretense, he got her shortly. And then, what people can do for love. So men out there, if at all she has asked for divorce and you are like, I don't want this, just pretend, just say, I don't remember, and see whether you can make another Richie Ho. But if she accepts, please don't open up late and say you are just playing, because if you're just playing, she will say, get out of here, and you don't want that. Story number 10. Story number 10. Lee Jing-gyu. We are going to South Korea. Lee Jing-gyu is a funny fellow. Lee Jing-gyu loved some guy, say from the movies. Let's say you are falling in love with some public figure, and you're like, wow, that's the person I want. And because you can't have that person, what do? You buy a pillow, and this pillow is as big as a human being, and then you model this pillow to look exactly like the person you admire. So let's say, for instance, that this pillow looks like your wife or your girlfriend. So you carry it everywhere you go. You go to a hotel, you carry your baby, and then you pull the chair, put the pillow, sit at the other side, order for food, talk to your lady as you eat. Remember, we are talking to the pillow. Then later on, you propose to this pillow, you get engaged to this pillow, and you get married. Wedding ceremony with this pillow. And you say, I'm married. That's my wife. Now, when you see maybe this person on TV, you say, I'm married to this person. But if somebody asks you, where is she? You point at the pillow. That's what Lee Jing-gyu did. South Korea is a crazy country if you can do that for marriage. My question to you is, can you marry an item? Say a cable. You say this cable means that lady. This is her. Then you draw it and yeah, crazy stuff there. Number 11. Stephen Ray Millen. Stephen Ray Millen loved so much that he decided to steal or to rob banks to support his relationship. The lady wants Q-Tex, the lady wants lipstick, the lady wants to do the hair, the lady wants nice clothes, high heels, nail polish, manicure, pedicure, earrings, name it. So he decides, kwa sababu sina kazi, let me go steal. And he goes and robs a bank, gets the money, come, they have party, they enjoy. Before the money gets exhausted, he goes again to steal from a bank. He did this again and again and again. And the reason why he was doing this was not because he wanted to rob, to buy some property, or to do some business, or to take alcohol. No, he just wanted to impress the lady. Stephen Ray Millen. Of course, he got caught later and went to jail just for love. My question to you guys is, can you steal or rob for that lady? And ladies, can you steal or rob for that guy to support him or her by stealing? 12 takes us to China. China, we meet Xiao Zheng. You don't know whether that is Zhao Zheng but it is Xiao Zheng. Now, that's 2012. What did Xiao Zheng do? Xiao Zheng has a girlfriend, and the girlfriend loves a certain actor. Let's say Michael J. White, or let's say Mark Dacascos, or let's say Steven Seagal, or let's say Bruce Lee, or let's say Imran Khan, or let's say, which other actor am I missing? Jet Li, Jackie Chan, James Bond guy, actor. So the lady loves a certain actor. So to impress her, he decides to go for plastic surgery to look like that actor. Why does he have to do this? She dumped him. She said, I'm not dating. I want somebody like actor Fulani. So, you want me to look, you want Tom Cruise? Okay, let me go make myself look like Tom Cruise. So that, so he goes, does plastic surgery, lots of them, to look exactly like that particular person. You remember Michael Jackson doing plastic surgeries to maybe look white and so on and so forth? Yes, that's what he does also. The problem is, when he now went like that actor, she still turned him down and said, yeah, okay, you look like him, but you are not him. So let me ask ladies, if your guy loves, say, big bottoms, can you go for plastic surgery just to have them for him? If your guy loves rangi ya thao, or brown skin, or light skin, can you do bleach just to impress? If your guy loves maybe, can you do plastic surgery just to win him over? Ama do you draw a line ikifika kwa plastic surgery? Things people do for love, that I cannot do myself. But if you can do it, Xiao Zheng also did it, so you are not alone. Zachary Weiner is our number 13th. Remember, we are going all the way to 22. Zachary Weiner. Zachary Weiner had the lady going away for a year. The lady was going away just to work for a year. So let's say we are in Nairobi and the lady is going to work, say in, ladies nowadays go to Saudi Arabia, or let's say any other country to work, or any other city to work far from where you are. So what did Zachary Weiner do? Zachary Weiner said, you're going away for 365 days, right? Yeah. I'm going to write a song for you every day. So he wrote a song and produced the song and dedicated to her, sent it to her, and also uploaded it online. The next day he wrote another song, produced it, sent it. The next day and the next day. By the time she came back after a year, she had written, sent, and posted 365 love songs for the person he loved. That is so romantic. I would want to do that too. Wow. Number 14. Sad but very inspiring story from Dashrath Manji. Dashrath Manji is an Indian guy, Hindu, yeah. Hindus shake their heads a lot. So, what is the story about Dashrath Manji? He had a wife, and the wife fell sick. The wife needed to be hospitalized and ASAP. But there was no road to connect his home and the hospital. Bushes, valleys, and stuff like that, all the way to the hospital. So he could not get the lady to hospital in good time, and the wife passed on. What did he do? Out of the pain for losing his wife and his love, he decided that no other person from that village should suffer what he suffered. He took two things, a hammer and a chisel. And you see the way carpenters do. He started making a road with a hammer and a chisel, carving a road manually. He did not ask for the government to do it. He took 22 years carving the road by hand using a hammer and a chisel. Good news, guys. He managed to make the road, so later on vehicles could pass through to the village to take people to hospital or move goods and services closer to people. One man, 22 years, a hammer and a chisel, making a road. In Kenya we spend billions, don't we, to make roads that you never even see, you only hear of in news. Kutoka wapi mpaka wapi, wapi mpaka wapi, and there are really no roads. Dashrath Manji, very touching. Very touching. May God rest his wife in eternal peace. Number 15. Sibusiso Dlamini. We are now in South Africa. Amapiano. Sibusiso Dlamini went to the girl's home to introduce himself and to get the parents' blessing so that he can marry their daughter. And the parents were like, have you gone to school? And he was like, school, no, but love, school, love. And they said, we don't care about love, we care about school. You must have a degree to get our lady, nothing less for our girl. So what did he do? He went home, worked hard, got money, went to college, studied and topped his class, and got a degree. He came back with a degree in one hand and a ring in the other to get the lady. Whether he got the lady or not, I don't know. But can you imagine going that far? Sibusiso Dlamini. That is quite inspiring. But the parents, I don't really support that idea. Be too strict. Isn't that being too strict? Even though you mean well for your daughter, but that's too harsh. Number 16. Band and Claudia. Band and Claudia. Band is like Bernard with N and D together, just like in this musician, The Weeknd. Weeknd without Kend. Weeknd. So Band and Claudia. Now, these people are living in Germany. They are living in East Germany. Germany, some years back in 1979, there was a wall splitting Germany into two. One east, siding with Russia, and the other one west, siding with the European countries and the West. Now, if you remember me talking about capitalism and communism, West Germany was actually Western world capitalist. East was communism, and love there was tough. Communism was rather tough on such kind of stuff because everything is done collectively. And then go to the garden together, do this together. It was like living in a boarding school. But in West Germany, you are living independent, liberty, freedom, and all that. So they wanted to cross over to West Germany, but it was banned. It is against the law. If you're found, you can either be killed or deported back and even taken to jail. The border point is 28 kilometers. So 28 border point to cross to this other side or to cross to that other side. So what did they do? Band and Claudia made a hot air balloon. And then, because this place was heavily guarded, at night they got into it at night. And then hot air balloon to the other side. They were very lucky not to have been seen by the patrol guys, because the balloon could be shot. They fall and they get shot themselves or taken for punishment. They were lucky. So they crossed over and they lived in love and freedom thereafter. There's a movie to this particular effect. The movie is called Balloon. So if you want to see a lot about this story, go to YouTube or to other movie channels and look for Balloon. What people do for love. Now let's get back to tattoos in number 17. Lesia and Roslan, they meet online and they fall in love. After falling in love, the lady decides to tattoo his name across her face. I belong to Tom. I belong to you if you're a guy there. So the lady does that. After just a moment, one day of dating online, and she tattoos. And when the guy saw that, the guy had to do a comeback also to show that if You have done that. Let me do something also to prove that I really love you. So what did he do? Now he went overboard. Overkill. He tattooed her face on his body 1,000 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1,000 times. Tattooing the face. Face, 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 face. Everywhere. The face of the lady. I think that's ugly. Yeah, that's ugly. 1,000 faces on your body of a lady. Yeah, you look at this, the face of the girl, face of the girl, face of the girl, face of. You've just met one day. What's? Hey guy, hey. What's? The question to you is, can you go to that limit of tattooing a face on your body because you love the other person? Let alone tattooing 1,000 times, just one. Can you do that? Not many can do. I am among the not many can do. Number 18. Julia Butterfly Hill. Now, this is quite another kind of love. Not love for a person. This is now love for a tree. A tree is scheduled for cutting. But Julia is this Wangari Maathai lady and says, you are not cutting this tree down. You're not cutting it. If you're cutting it, you're killing me first. So what does she do? She climbs onto this tree. And you cannot cut a tree when somebody is up the same tree. So they stall there with their power source, waiting for her to get down, and she doesn't. The next day they come back, they find her on the tree. The next day they come back, she's on the tree. And she stays on the tree for, get this, 738 days on the tree. 738 days on the tree, so you cannot cut it. On the tree, she's up there. I don't know whether she was, I believe she was maybe coming down when they're not there, taking food and rushing back up the tree. Come rain, come sunshine, you're not cutting this tree. So after 738 days, they saw, hapa sasa tumezidi, we will kill this lady. Wakawachana nayo. One tree cannot make us to stop whatever we are doing for years and years. And she's not coming down. Can you protect what you love, let alone a person, by going to some extreme ends like this Julia Butterfly Hill? Even climbing that tree and staying there for 2 years? Let's say I love this mouse and I'm like, I'm going to put it in this pocket and it's going to stay there for 50 years. Okay, that's easy. You can be there. Take this one out, I take shower. But staying atop a tree for 2 years, that's tough. Things people do for love. Number 19. Chevalier Dion. Chevalier Dion. We are now in France. Bonjour. Back in the 18th century, you will find Chevalier Dion. Chevalier Dion is a spy, a soldier, and a diplomat. This person is a man. Chevalier Dion. But as a spy, sometimes he disguises as a lady. Okay, that's okay. Anybody can disguise as a lady. I can even take a dress, put it on, and then do some little makeup, and I look like a lady. But he goes a little bit further than that. he does not just dress as a lady, sometimes as a spy. He actually falls in love with a man. I think he was these guys. Yeah, you know what I'm getting at. So he falls in love with a man like him. But the man he's falling in love with only wants ladies, does not want a man. This guy is a heterosexual. He is a homosexual. So they can't rhyme. But this homosexual Chevalier Dion loves him so much. Oh my goodness, I can do anything for him. So what does he do? Because I normally disguise as a spy, why don't I disguise as a lady? And then that's what he does. So he disguised as a lady and stayed as a lady around him, and he fell in love with this lady that was not a lady. Now, what is even amazing here is how long he managed to stay like a lady. 56 years. We are in 2025. 2025, add 56 years. That is 2081. 2081, from today to 2081, you are dressed like a lady, talking like a lady, and all that. Oh my goodness. Just to get to be loved. But my question is, on this other guy, didn't you get what I'm trying to say? Because apart from the visuals, there's also another way, a key way in which you can know that this person is not what this person is claiming to be. What people do for love. 20. We have 2 more to go. 20. The last one will amaze you. 20. Peter and Lisa. Lisa Marshall. If you remember that story about ALS, that brain issue, and that lady who decided to stall her studies to take care of the guy. Here is something almost similar to that, but a bit different. So, Lisa is the one now suffering. Lisa has Alzheimer or Alzheimer. This is this ailment that comes and causes forgetfulness. Usually it comes when you are in your 40s, 50s, and so on and so forth. Old age, you get Alzheimer, you get which other ailment? There are these ailments that you get. You go to, yeah. So she's suffering from Alzheimer and forgets her husband. Who are you? Who are you? Peter is shocked. After the doctor says that she has actually forgotten all about you, everything about you, including the family that you have raised together. Peter did not leave. Peter stayed. Now, Peter decided that you've forgotten. Okay, now he decided to start all over again. So he approached her and said, "Hi, girlie," and then akamuingiza box, and then they dated afresh. Remember, these are people who have had their family, and they dated, and then they engaged, and actually she fell in love with him, not knowing that he has been there all these years. And then he proposed, and she accepted, and then they had a second wedding, officially another wedding. She thought this was the first wedding. He knew it was the second wedding. And then they lived ever after. Wow, that's amazing. I think you don't need to get Alzheimer to do what Peter did. Sometimes we need to refresh. If at all we can restore factory settings on our phones and start all over again, why don't you, at some point in time, if capacity is there, why don't you start it all over again and light those sparks and relive the past? Assume that the past is gone, you start afresh. It can be entertaining. You can actually wed that 4 times in your lifetime if possible. I think I support this, but only if the capacity is there. I'm sorry for their case, it was Alzheimer, but I'm saying I like what he did, and I would do it even without Alzheimer if I have the monies to do it. Peter and Lisa. Wow. Number 21. Boris and Anna Kozlov. Kozlov is Russian. What does Anna and Boris do for love in 1946? You remember that story about separation and coming back 40 years later? Yes, but it is slightly different here. What happens is, in this particular case, they go separate ways after they have fallen in love, and then each party marries and has a family of their own. You have your kids and your wife. You have your husband and your kids or children. Then, in their 80s, coincidentally, they lose their spouses. The guy loses the wife. The lady loses the husband. Then karma brings them together, and they meet, and they're like, hi, long time. They are now in their 80s. They are now shows. They are old. Oh, by the way, how is your family doing? Oh, I lost my wife. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I also lost my husband. Oh, really old. And then they fell in love in their 80s. They were in their teens when they fell in love, separated. Then they are meeting around 70 years later and fallen in love. They married each other, and this went viral. It was wow. I think they were not meant to separate. So even in their separation, there is something that was going to bring them back together. They were never ever going to stay apart. Karma, life, what people do for love. Lastly, ladies and gentlemen, number 22. King Edward the Eighth. King Edward the Eighth. We are in Britain, the United Kingdom. The king now, the palace. You remember Queen Elizabeth. Remember Prince, King Charles right now, yeah? Okay. This is 1936. The king is Edward the Eighth, and the king has fallen in love with a lady called Wallis Simpson. Wallis Simpson is an American and a divorcee. According to the rules of the monarch, you cannot marry an American and a divorcee. Constitution does not accept that. So what does he do? For love, he says, I can't cancel the love, but I can cancel the kingship. To hell with the kingship. I want this girl. I think the same thing has also repeated itself. I remember Prince William and Kate Middleton, if you know that story. Kate Middleton is this American, not a divorcee though, and Prince William. And it brought a lot of friction. Queen Elizabeth was not happy about it because you are going out of the confines of the monarchy's rules. But he said, to hell with that. Inspired by Princess Diana's rebellion, did that. So the king also abdicates. He said, and I quote, I have found it impossible to carry the heavy burden of responsibility without the help and the support of the woman I love. End of quote. I repeat, I have found it impossible to carry the heavy burden of responsibility without the help of this and support of the woman I love. End quote. Love of a crown. The question to you, unaweza toka kwenye maziwa useme love, because kingship is maziwa. You are the king, you are the lion, everything, the palaces, and you say, I want to live like a hustler, but with my girl. So romantic. I think I can do something like King Edward, but can you? Now, a quick review. King Edward abdicating for the love of the lady. That is touching. That is touching. And then there is this story about this guy who decides to start afresh when the lady falls to Alzheimer and starts afresh. That's also touching. If you ask me, that's cool, man. This other story about this Sibusiso Dlamini who goes back to college to get the degree and comes with a degree and a ring. Oh, that's also a nice one. I hope you also loved it. And the most touching of all, I think, is Dashrath Manj, who with a hammer and a chisel carved a road so that no other person loses their wife like I've done mine. And when I say mine, I mean Dashraj Manji, not me. Oh, that was touching. Let me see another one that got into me. Bate and Warren waited for 40 years for each other. Nowadays, that doesn't happen. You leave and 1 week later, ameshajisort. In fact, these days, you don't even have to leave. You are there and they sort themselves. And when I say they sort themselves, I don't just mean ladies. Even men do that. And that's quite sad. So this is quite inspiring. Bate saying, I love that guy, I'm going to wait. The guy also says, I love her, I'm going to wait. And 40 years later, they say, with or without menopause, you are the one. That was nice. Guys, meet me in my next video as I give you something inspiring, something touching, and something funny too.